Glory days. Well, you got glory days. And the work of the younger side. Glory days.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:33. I'm sorry I'm a little late. It's June 17th. It's Monday. A little Bruce Springsteen on a Monday morning. Never hurt anybody. Take a little disclosure. Let's get to it. Good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. It is 6:33. It is June 17th. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend, a great Father's Day. And here we are, right? What is this? 2 weeks left of the second quarter. We've had lots of movement, lots of trades, lots of things to do, and trying to figure out, what kind of action do we have this week. I'll tell you, I was a lot more excited last week than this week. But, every week above ground is a good week, right? So kind of have a little gratitude. Anyway, let me say good morning to my dogs around the world. Looks like everybody's a little slow to get up. We got It's Rising and Grinding from Connecticut. We got Bill Myers in the house from Texas. What up, Andrew, from Mississippi? We got EK Santo. Dan, what up, buddy? We got Sully in the house, Ryan, Blair from the Alpha team, Steve. We got Jose, nice and consistent as always from Caracas. Hey, what up? Marcos from sunny Spain. Hopefully the family's doing well over there. So here we are, another week. Okay, last week there was a lot going on. This week I feel like, we're a little bit on cruise control as we head into the end of the second quarter. That's been a pretty nice quarter. I see a lot starting to be spoken about, which I'm going to look into a little bit more about whether or not, you've had mega cap tech, which has been absolutely fantastic. Not every stock has been the same, then you've had also the AI semis, but then you've had, the other sectors like the Dow that have been underperforming, the small caps underperforming, energy underperforming, bios underperforming. So are they going to, in the last few days before settlement, are they going to, push those sectors a little bit, to window dress them for the end of the quarter? And then does that happen in, and then they bring in some of the leaders, or do they just really want to mark the hell out of the leaders? I don't know. We still have a bunch of days for that. I'm just thinking out loud. If you take a look here at the chart of the S&P cash, here's the S&P cash. Let's see if we can just do the S&P cash by itself without me even. Last week, if you remember, we were buying into the 8-day 53.27. That was a good spot to buy the dip. And then you had the CPI push on Wednesday. And then we kind of digested here. So, some were like, Red Dog, we're going to have an island top, for Monday. They're going to surprise everybody. Finally, it's not going to end well. Well, at this point, SPYs are only down about 60 cents. So that's not the case. So at this point, we'll see, can we digest and continue, and keep in this nice sequence or not? If you go to the SPYs itself, very similar. SPYs, if you look here, can't get too bearish by holding 539, right? And then here's 544, for another push. Lots of talk this weekend about ISI raised their S&P target to 6,000. But again, that's not that big of a deal. If you guys remember, I first time posted the weekly chart. People like, what, every Friday I post a weekly chart with a little tactical take. And then I also always post my strategies for long-term and for wealth, which is definitely a better way in order to, position the market. But anyway, so what am I focusing on this week? What up, Bobby? I'm still in Apple. I still think Apple could have another move. Apple was fantastic. Probably one of my best trades in a long time last week. We weren't sure what would happen with the event, but you didn't have to know. All you had to know is we took out 197.30, took out 198, took out 199. Boom, beeline to 220. So now is this creating a bull flag where you could be buying versus what's this low here? 211.30. How many days does it need to absorb this recent move for the 8-day to catch up? But ultimately, I think you could still buy a dip in Apple. I'm still overly focused there. I also bought some options. So I think Apple is still a good focus for mega cap tech. A lot of people made good money. It's up this morning. It's up $1.60, so that's good. I have a whole bunch of that. So you're seeing some relative strength this morning in Apple. If you remember, 1 week ago, my focus was on the post split of NVIDIA. We were buying NVIDIA versus 117. Wow. What an awesome trade. What an awesome move. What an awesome stock. Thank God for this stock for most traders and investors. Ultimately, if you remember, this was right here post-split. Okay, remember they brought it in that morning and everyone's like, oh, splits don't mean anything. I'm like, come on, it's one day. They're getting rid of the fast money. But anyway, you could have bought that day. You could have bought versus, versus the higher low of 118.74, which was right here. And then it took out this 125 and this and went as high as what? 132.84. Wow. Now that is a move. You could continue to be with this trade, but at this point, it's a little extended. You just can't sink your teeth into it as a trader. So although it's great, but to me, I feel like, you just got to trail it. Just sell some strength, buy a dip, sell some strength, buy a dip, and just let it go. And if you have it on as a swing trade versus 117, congratulations. If you have it on as an investment since last Shavuos, congratulations. It probably changed your life. In other AI semis, obviously, then you have Avago had its huge numbers, huge report, huge 10-for-1 stock split. So at this point, some guys who use my pro earnings gap rule are long versus 1652, and it probably continues to the upside. Here's a big gap here. It's going to change soon. So that's like just a swing. Last week, SMCI woke up a little bit. Remember, we were talking about SMCI. Well, SMCI did give you a really nice wake up, but then, there was some chatter. It was going to be in the NASDAQ versus ARM. But anyway, it's a tough stock. So, if you remember, I'm like, if it gets above 804, you could buy it. It went to 882. That was a great trade and also a good option play. I do come in long some calls for this week. We'll see. Does it hold? What's this now? 825. It was probably a little too much from Friday, but can it hold 825 and take out 882? I don't know. Hopefully it does. It was been out of play. It's been lagging. It hasn't been the place to be. Remember when it had this big move to 1229? Well, now, can this hold 825 and take out 882 to get a move towards 909 to 972? So this is something that's on the radar. It can't be an over focus, but it could be on the radar. Okay, because all these semis are not created equal. NVIDIA new highs. If you were focused on AMD because NVIDIA is making the new highs, you probably were a little pissed off. I get it. AMD has not acting well since this high. Some like, well, Red Dog, look how tight AMD is now. Okay, it's tight. This is going to need I don't even know. It's going to need a move of just say triple, quadruple volume, through 162.60 in order to get going. This reminds me of the way Tesla's trading now, which is absolutely horrendous. This low here is what, 157-ish, and this is 157. I would say so. If you were trying to be long AMD for a move, 157's you're out. It has to get through this 162 and really, really get going. But again, remains to be seen. So what else is, Qualcomm? I haven't looked at this. A lot of people like Qualcomm still working its way higher. Qualcomm still looks good. There's some things that are trending. I just don't see a whole lot to sink your teeth into. What up, Jack? I do think, Microsoft's been awesome. Microsoft, if you remember this channel, we were talking about Microsoft was a great, great, great trade. We were getting long Microsoft right in here, option stock, and then some. Now it does seem like it can continue 443.40. It needs to get above that. Whereas Microsoft this morning, it's up 70 cents. So Microsoft is outperforming. I did see the Microsoft commercial for the autopilot. I thought it was pretty cool. Ultimately, though, Microsoft, I still think has some room. And then I've played a little bit of the catch-up trade that hasn't been working. Amazon's been a pain in the ass. Meta, you have to be so damn careful with. Take a look at Meta here. We did catch a decent trade. I have options on for this week. It's still above the 8-day. It's still kind of tight. If this were to break 498-ish, I would say, put it in the penalty box. If it holds and gets above, just say 507, maybe there's a little bit better action there. So now, if you're in the camp that they're going to rebalance the trade in the next week, week and a half, that you need to be looking at some of the crappy sectors. Well, like to show, like look at XLE. XLE is a crappy sector. So many people like, I love energy. Well, high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. I don't know. Maybe there's a small little trade here, and if you're looking to look at that, usually there's a little bounce in Oxy, which has been absolutely horrendous. From the red dog reversal top here, it's been all lower highs since. So if you're thinking that, hey, maybe there's a trade in energy and you want to be where Buffett is, well, this low here is 59-ish. Maybe take a look here. I don't know, maybe buy some options. It's, again, these type of trades to me are not fun whatsoever. But if you catch a low and then they do a little bit of a cute push, there's money there. We're just looking to see where there's money. Amazon, somebody's asked me, Scotty Gids, Amazon was my worst trade last week. Why? You look at it now, it doesn't look so bad. I do have some options going out for this Friday and next Friday. If just say if this is a lower channel, right? This is your lower channel, and it hit the upper channel, and now if it held the top half of it and starts to get moving a little bit, it's still fine. It's just it's lagging. The last few times it tried to get above an area and show momentum, it failed. I'm a momentum trader by nature. I like to buy high and sell higher. I like to also buy some reversal lows with a red dog reversal, but chances are, whatever. Anyway, this put a little low here, a little red dog reversal on Friday. So maybe there's better action this week. Let's see, what's Amazon doing today? It's down 70 cents. Maybe it goes right to green for a trade there. It hasn't been that interesting. And as far as like gold and silver, they've been really tough. Silver came all the way in. I guess you could remember this was a great trade. We had silver when it broke above the channel. I guess, you'll see now if does it hold this spot. What's silver doing today? I'm not that enamored by it. It's nothing, down 34 cents. Gold also been a pain in the ass. Excuse my French. Big trade when it had that move, and now it's just rebuilding. Sometimes you're rebuilding and sometimes things are on the move. Right now, gold and silver are not on the move. They're just rebuilding. Same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been a pain in the butt. If you tried to play the breakout above 71 to 73,000 a bunch of times, it's been a pain in the ass, right? Look at the chart of Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. Also was one of my bigger losers in the last month or two, trying to time a breakout that just did not happen. And now look at it. Wow, still looks like it doesn't look good. I'm not playing it as much. Here's your channel in Bitcoin. If you remember, this looked like it was going to break out here and failed. Looked like it was going to break down and then came back up, and then it was trying to hold the 66 and looks lower. Here is the last try here at 68, and now it looks like another little bear flag. The longer it stays below 66, the higher the probability that maybe it continues to the downside. So at some point, this is going to continue, and the channel is going to be great, and it's going to break out, and it's going to go, but not at this point. Some points different than this point. All I know is if you trade, if you're long term, you could actively buy Bitcoin every single month for the future. I believe in that trade. But if you trade actively for a living, this has been a monotonous channel that's given you not a lot of opportunity and can't be a hyper focus. HPEs on your radar, yeah, that kind of woke up a little bit. So to be, again, let's go back to the SPYs. You have a shortened week. It's June 19th, so Wednesday we're off. You do have an upper bull flag here that seems as if it might do the same thing as it did last week, where you could have bought a dip into support and then it gave you a move. Now it's got to hold this 539 to 540 area, and we'll see how it goes. Ethereum, if Bitcoin is ranging out, Ethereum's not doing a whole hell of a lot. Ethereum, you could probably buy the same way as Bitcoin. Those two, I think you could buy every single month a little bit and be fine. Those will make it. The old coins are a bunch of speculation, just like the IWM and just like the bios. Like you have to be right time, right place, and if you get caught chasing, you can get your clock cleaned. Again, that's it. I'm really not that excited coming into this week. I think some trades could continue, but I don't see anything so super juicy where I'm like, I got to get after that. So when that's the case, you just settle down, Let the trade come to you. Don't give back money for any stupid reason. And if something develops, which sometimes it does develop out of nowhere, you'll be ready for the trade. And I wish I could be a little bit more exciting today, but that's the case. Like Tesla, everyone's like, Red Dog Tesla. I'm like, Tesla is not a good trade now. It's not. Okay, it's a pain in the ass, and it's not special, and it's been lagging. And nobody's starting to believe his hype anymore. Like, look at this. Tesla had every chance last week to get going, right? It had the vote, and they sold it. And then Elon talked about how humanoids are going to take over the world, and they sold it. So ultimately, Tesla, which has been lagging since December 28th, you get a little trade here and there, but it's just not the Tesla of old. It's not NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been spectacular. Tesla 2-3 years ago was, the bread and butter of an active momentum trader. Now it's just on the sideline, and you shouldn't focus on it. And every now and then there's a small trade, and that's it. Either way, I got to do about 40 charts. I got to talk to the Alpha team. I'm going to be on Fox Business at lunch today. Not with Liz Clayman, but with Cavuto, and then I'm going to be traveling to the city Thursday, and we'll just take it day by day. The market's up huge this first half. Hopefully, you're putting your inflows in, and hopefully you made some good money trading. There's been a lot of great setups, but if you've been trying to find the laggard to play catch up to the leader, you're definitely not in the right place. It's just not the market for that right now. Anyway, good luck today. I'll see you guys a little bit later.